Hello and welcome to Oz Truck News, a weekly brief on Australian trucking with some global headlines. A little extended today as I'll be giving a rundown at the end on heavy-duty long-haul autonomous truck tech developers traversing highways today in the US. Firstly, to some OEM global releases in 2022, I can't confirm what will end up down in Australia. Hino revealed its first Class 8 heavy-duty truck in North America. The XL8 prototype is powered by a hydrogen fuel cell electric drivetrain at 360 horsepower. Freightliner released Detroit Assurance technology, which makes the Cascadia the first Level 2 automated Class 8 truck in North American market. Also, Freightliner and Western Star will option the new Detroit DD13 Gen 5. Kenworth T680 will be optioning a 52-inch flat roof sleeper, and OneGuard Active safety system now comes as an option on the TA80 and the W990. They've also improved their offering on the electric T680E at 1623 foot-pound of torque. The Mack Anthem and Granite Vocational will be delivered with the standard command steer safety package, and the Anthem optioning the MP8HE plus efficiency package to increase fuel economy by up to 13%. Nikola Tre available first in Europe. North American clients will see their stock in 2022. Tre is built in a JV with Iveco. Also, the testing of the FCEV version will commence in 2022 with a range of 800 kilometres, about 20-minute charging time, and at 645 horsepower. All Volvo VNL models will come with the enhanced D13 compound turbo engine, delivering 6% better fuel economy over the 2020 D13 VGT version. Peterbilt's 579 Ultra Loft Sleeper continues to be optioned in 2022, and all 579s come standard with the updated Bendix Wingman Fusion safety system. International will be rolling out the new A26 engine at 1850 foot-pound of torque. This is based on the MAN D26 block. They'll also be launching the new Tipper HX620. Returning to Australia, fatalities in trucking are far too common, and the Australian Livestock and Rural Transport Association has stated in the last 5 years 80% of its members have been injured at work. We all know road upgrades are critical, but also infrastructure, such as the introduction of new Australian standards for loading ramps being implemented across the country, and more to come, says the ALRTA. More truck areas, rest areas are on their way, and that's fantastic news as the federal government have kicked in $250 million to reopen applications for the Heavy Vehicle Safety and Productivity Program, and more are well needed. The National Heavy Vehicle Regulator in their 2021-26 strategic plan are pushing for borderless regulation to provide the same on-road interaction regardless of where the trucks are operating. This obviously will be achieved quicker down the east coast of Australia, as WA, according to the Western Roads Federation, says the situation is unlikely to change as the review lacks serious engagement with WA's interest. Tasmania is holding a similar position. Staying with the NHVR, I noted that they intended, while reading the Strategic Direction 2021, to focus on a recognisable reduction of the average age of the national heavy vehicle fleet. I'll be staying tuned to see if they're planning to use a carrot or stick here. The ACCC has launched an investigation on how the extreme supply chain congestion in ports across the world is affecting Australian productivity, and how to outline what must be done to improve Australia's container trade. A combination of only 10% of container ships berthing on schedule, port inefficiencies and industrial action are causing a backlog on Australian ports, while affecting trucking industry with higher charges and delays. As I touched on in episode 2, Hyzon will be delivering 5 154-tonne GVM hydrogen fuel cell prime movers into Townsville at the end of 2022. But now the Australian Renewable Energy Agency has conditionally, and I say very generously, kicked in $3 million to assist this rollout. Staying in the region, New Zealand's TR Group has just ordered 20 lighter duty Hyzon hydrogen prime movers. Daimler and BP have signed an MOU to accelerate a hydrogen network across the UK. BP will assess the feasibility of supplying up to 25 hydrogen refuelling stations across the country by 2030. Daimler intends on rolling out their hydrogen-powered trucks to the UK clients by 2025 and their Gen H2 by 2027. The driver shortage in the US has hit 80,000, and the ATA estimates that over the next decade, 1 million drivers will be required, new drivers, to be recruited to accommodate growth and replace drivers leaving the industry. Okay, today we're talking about non-OEM, heavy-duty, long-haul trucking, autonomous tech startups. These companies are testing all across the highways of America and are all initially pushing to achieve 15 to 25% fuel reduction and level 4 autonomy, meaning that its trucks will be able to operate without a human driver under limited conditions. And with autonomous trucks comes platooning, which is already well developed, mainly 2 to 3 truck applications. Even the Australian Army is now testing platooning with Deakin Uni. There are 2 distinct autonomous solutions. The first being retrofit-like technology, partnering with major fleets and manufacturers, such as US-based Aurora, who has publicly listed this month, and a 3-way partnership with FedEx and PACCAR. Also, they have a collaboration with Volvo. They're expecting a retail rollout in 2023. US-based Embark is also to go publicly listed with NGAB and plans to roll out retail in 2024. They say they have 14,000 orders on the books and can be spec'd with Freightliner, Navistar, Peterbilt and Volvo. US-based Waymo, formerly Google's self-driving car, is now moving to trucks and has signed a deal with Daimler Trucks North America. Plus Drive, yet to go public, has partnered with Amazon and to retrofit 1,000 units in its fleet. Plus has a large footprint in China, and that is with truck maker FAW. They also have partnered with Iveco's Europe and Chinese builds. Too Simple, also listed on NASDAQ, though Chinese owned, is working with UPS hauling across the USA, Penske Truck Leasing, Navistar, Tratton Group and Scania. It has been approved to build 5,000 units to run unmanned in China. US-based Locomotion hasn't gone public yet. Its ARC system is starting 2022 with 250 trucks as a human-guided based operation with drivers on board but swapping front position while the second truck driver rests. They're working towards 2025 tandem driverless platooning. US-based Kodiak Robotics has been running its own fleet of 10 since 2019, moving freight out of Texas, and now with their 4th generation have ordered 15 more PACCAR units. They have also signed a deal with SK Inc., stepping into Asia, South Korea initially. The second wave of autonomous trucks that I won't go into today, as they're much further away from a real-life, heavy-duty, long-distance trucking rollout, is the electric, autonomous, end-to-end complete unit productions. Some of these examples from around the globe are Tesla, InRide and Evo Cargo. Now, to mapping. The big project parallel is the autonomous mapping required, and is far too big a situation to go into depth today. Requirements for offline and online mapping systems such as SLAM, monoSOM, annotator-friendly mapping, SD versus HD lane information extraction mapping, with mapping like Deep Road Mapper, Road Tracer, Polymapper, Maze Wall Follower, Deep Boundary Extractor, DAG Mapper, HRAN, and it goes on and on. Australian company Baraja is heavily involved in this field and is at the forefront of the new LiDAR light and range technology, and now moving into trucks after more than 2 years working with Hitachi Construction. 1 out of every 10 trucks in the US and Europe will be autonomous by early 2030s, and a lot more money to be splashed around fighting for market share and autonomous trucking to come. I'll leave you today with our past is our future. Electric mobility is not new. Pictured is an electric Detroit Model D, 100-mile range, built in 1910. Thank you for your time and safe trucking.